G'day guys, this is just a quick update to let you know how things are going. There's 7 days left in the fundraiser and I've got to say time has absolutely flown. We started brilliantly thanks to Anthony Watts and the publicity that he brought to us, and thanks to you and people like you who have gotten behind the project. You've no doubt seen that things have really slowed down dramatically since about the end of the first week of the fundraiser. The question is why? Well, quite simply, we stopped reaching new people. Anthony Watts can't be asked to just continuously push it for an entire month, and unfortunately not many other people have picked it up to give us the publicity that we need to help to reach new people. Reaching new people means getting new donations. We've been working like mad behind the scenes, and unfortunately I've got to admit we've not been very successful. We've been trying to lure in some potential big dollar donors, that's individuals and organisations that have a vested interest or have some kind of an ideological interest in this subject, who might be willing to throw in $5, $10, $15, $50,000 and help make this project a reality. We've been spectacularly unsuccessful in getting any such people to get behind this project. We've also been approaching media, and unsurprisingly they don't want to touch us. This isn't the sort of thing that they like, because it shows how derelict in their duty they've been all of this time. So what we're left with is a week to go, and the only strategy that's worked for us so far has been simply the grassroots, getting people to tell people about what we're doing. And that's exactly the strategy that we need to pursue for the next 7 days. So we need you now more than ever, not to give us more money. Thank you for what you've given, we greatly appreciate it, and we don't want anyone to sacrifice any more than what they can afford without hurting themselves. So financially, please, you've done your part. What we need from you now is to contact people. If you can contact anyone, if it's through Facebook, if it's through Twitter, if it's through telephone calls, emails, getting in touch with bloggers and journalists that you have any kind of a relationship with, any way that you can think of to help get the word out, to help continue this process of people telling people about the project, that is what we need. It's that word of mouth that worked early on in the fundraiser, and it's that word of mouth that we need to pursue in this last 7 days. It seems obvious now that we're not going to make the 130 grand target. What does that mean? Does that mean we can't do the project? Absolutely not. The 130 grand was the minimum amount that we needed to do a cinema quality production. Some people have been asking, how are you spending 130 grand on a 7-minute video and a couple of hours worth of interviews? Well, that comes down to the quality. It comes down to the quality of the equipment that you're using, the quality of the people that you have handling that equipment, the quality of the people that you have doing your animation and the amount of hours that they can spend on that, etc, etc, etc. To illustrate my point, I'd like you to have a quick look at a couple of seconds of a short film that I made for Topher in January. It's called The Hustle.
Being a hustler doesn't just mean being the best pool player. It means knowing how to pick your targets, how to suck them in, and how to beat them. The key is to make them believe that they're completely in control. Right up until the moment you walk out with their cash. Watch and learn.
Alright, come on, off. You're ruining my game.
What'll it be?
Step 1,
So
plan
hopefully
your
you can
attack.
see the quality, not just the quality of the equipment, but also the quality of the people who are handling that equipment. That's a film that I wrote and I directed, but I had a cinematographer as well as a camera crew of 3 people working on one camera. I had someone dedicated to audio, I had 3 people dedicated to lights, I had 2 people dedicated just to making sure the set looked good in the background. That's what a full crew looks like. We had more than 40 people on set to film that short film. Now obviously I'm not going to be travelling with 40 people, but every time you cut someone out of the production crew, you introduce the possibility of things going wrong. So for example, for $130,000 I was going to be travelling with a crew of 3. We'd be doing a 3-camera shoot, 1 camera on the interview subject, 1 camera as a semi-wide shot favouring the interview subject, and then 1 camera as a reverse angle on me. Well obviously we can cut one of those cameras, that being the one on me. We don't need that. We can just look at the subject and then the wide shot with the subject. But now we're actually having to cut not just cameras, but people. So instead of having a person dedicated to each camera, we're going to have to lock one of the cameras off and just leave it and hope for the best, whilst my 1 camera operator operates the 1 camera that's focused tight in on the interview subject. We're no longer going to be able to afford someone dedicated to audio. The cameraman, who's also looking after a camera, is going to have to also be listening to the sound as it comes through the cans and making sure that everything's coming through nice and clean, nice and clear. These are the kinds of things that have to happen in order to bring a $130,000 production into, say, a $40 to $50 to $60,000 budget. My point here is not to complain. My point here is to let you know where that money was going to be spent and the kinds of things that we're going to have to do in order to bring the budget down to within the constraints that we're left with at the end of this fundraiser, whatever that happens to be. And also to point out that from here, every single dollar is going to make a difference. Getting from 40 grand to 50 grand is going to make a big difference to the quality of the equipment that I can carry. Getting to 60 grand will allow me to bring another person into the production team that we travel with and perhaps plug some of those potential gaps and fix some of those potential problems before they even happen, because I've got someone dedicated to that job, making sure it's going to come out absolutely perfect. Now, having said that, I don't want you to stress about the quality of the finished product. I can guarantee you, if you've seen any of my previous work, this project will be even better. So if you've seen the standard that I've worked to in the past, that is my minimum standard, and I will not get below that standard ever for any reason. So please don't lie awake at night wondering whether you've supported a project that's going to come out looking rubbish. No, it's not. It's still going to look good, but it's not going to be the cinema standard production that I had hoped to be able to turn this into. There's 7 days to go, and every dollar counts from here on in. I'm very, very grateful for your support and for your help so far, but I really need your help to help us get together whatever we can. Reach more people, get together those $5 and $10 and $25 and $50 donations that, once there's enough of them, add up to make a meaningful difference in the finished product. Thank you so much for your help. I'll keep you updated.